If you run a small business, you do not want your Google advertisement popping up number one at the very top. That is the title of this video, and it's probably gonna be a little controversial to some and might leave a few scratching their heads. But I'm gonna get into really specific detail in terms of why that's the case. So to be clear, search engine optimization and advertising are completely different. Search engine optimization, you're going to be in the free organic section. You're going to be in the section in the middle towards the bottom. That's completely different. When you're doing search engine optimization, of course, you want to be as high up on the search engine as possible, number one if possible. That's what you would want to have. Search engine optimization is all about real estate, so as much real estate as you can gobble up, the better. Advertising is way different. Advertising, your placement is based on an auction process. So you put in a bid, like when you're doing Google AdWords, you put in a bid for what you want to pay for a particular click for a particular keyword. So it's an auction process, and the placement, the biggest part of the placement is going to be what you bid. There's other factors like click through rate and quality score, but the main thing is going to be what you bid on. So there's a lot of solicitors that are out there that'll say, hey, I can get you up on the first page of Google, I can get you number one Google ranking, blah, blah, blah. And I'll also be talking to some new clients where we're just starting out. We start the ads, everything's going good. They like us, and a couple weeks later they're like, hey, I'm going on Google, and where's my business? I'm typing in such and such, and I can't find where my business is. What the heck is going on? Do you not know how to get me on Google? So this video is just to kind of clarify that. When somebody, whether it's us or anybody else, if you're a small business and you're paying somebody to do advertising on search engines, I'm going to be perfectly clear. You do not want to pop up number one. You do not want to pop up towards the top. There's very good reasons for this. When you get number one, you're probably going to be bidding more than anybody else. If you type in a particular keyword and you pop up at the very top, number one, sometimes you're going to have an ad that performs really well with the quality score and the click-through rate, but most of the time you're overpaying for that cost of the click. Why is that such a big deal? If we have somebody paying us, say, $100 a month for advertising, we're limited to that $100. We have that amount of money, and that's the amount of money that we have to use. So with ads on the search engines, every time you pay for somebody clicking on the link and going to your website, you're paying the search engines money for each and every single click. So we're limited when we have a client that's doing $100 a month. We're limited to that particular $100. So when you pay $5 per click versus $2, that makes a really big difference. You're going to limit the amount of clicks and the amount of people that you're able to get to the website, because you're paying $5 versus $2. So our job, ultimately our job is to help people make more money. I mean, we are ultimately in the business of getting people customers and having them make money off of us. There's a cost, but we want people to walk away with a profit. So with that in mind, in order to get people customers, we need to get them in contact with people. We need phone calls, we need emails, we need text messages. We need as many of that as possible. So in order to get that, we need to get as many people to the website as possible. So our job ultimately when it comes to the search engines is we want to get people to the website for the lowest cost per click. That's the biggest thing that we're concerned about, getting people there for the lowest price per click, not about the average position. So a lot of times you're going to get people going on the website when you're in a position of number 3 or number 4 or number 5. Just because you're at the top, you're going to get a lot of people clicking just because you're at the top. But there's a lot of people that are out there that are more picky about what they click on. Not everybody's first knee-jerk reaction is to click on the very first website at the top. You might have somebody do a search and they're going to be more picky with what they click on. They scroll down, They scroll up, they're looking from left to right, they're looking for something in particular, and they're looking for an ad that matches what they're looking for. So you don't always have to be at the very top in order to get somebody to click on the link and go into your website. So our job, regardless of position, our job is to get the clicks for the least amount of money. Truth be told, when we have a client that's doing the smallest amount of money, if you have a big budget, we have some clients that are spending, $1,000 a month, over $1,000 a month. For those clients, it's a different approach. When you're spending more money, it's a situation where you want to be everywhere. You want to pop up as much as possible. But when you have $100, you want to go after the lowest hanging fruit. You want to go after, the area where you can get the most bang for your buck. So with what we do, we target lots and lots of keywords. We target a whole bunch of keywords, thousands and thousands of keywords in our keyword list. So what we do is we have a really big keyword list, and we set really low bids for all of them. And our Google ads and Bing ads and Yahoo ads won't pop up as often. They're actually going to be really hard to find. But with us having so many different keywords that we're targeting, we're bound to get a few clicks here, a few clicks there, and it's not going to be a lot of clicks, but because our budget's only $100 a month, we don't have that much money to begin with, so the few clicks are all we need. And the fact that we have this really low bid, when we do get those clicks, the clicks are going to come at a much lower cost. That's going to allow us to get more people to your website than you would have otherwise if we didn't really know what we were doing. That's one of the main ways where we're able to get a lot more phone calls and a lot more customers versus somebody that's not as experienced, is because we have a lot lower bids and ultimately lower cost per click. If you're a big company, if money is no issue to you, big companies want to be number one. They want to be at the very top. They don't care about what the cost is. Another reason is because the big brands and big companies, they don't need as many clicks to get a conversion. They don't need as many clicks to get a sale. Their conversion rate between from clicks to phone calls and phone calls to customers is going to be a lot higher than a small business because of the brand name. People know who they are, they trust them more, so the conversion rate is going to be higher, and they're going to have no problem paying a little bit more per click. Those big companies are the companies that should be popping up number one. A small business has no business popping up number one, in my opinion, unless you're spending the money just to tell your buddies, hey, I'm on the first page of Google, I'm at the top, type this in, there I am, number one, hooray, it looks great. There's some value in that, but other than that, there's when it comes to making you money, you're not going to get as much value at the top. You want to get the clicks for a lower cost. So I would just encourage everybody. Ultimately, I'm a business owner myself. If I'm paying anybody for advertising or marketing, I care about if they're making me money. So I would just encourage everybody. You care about the progress, you're spending money, you want to make sure everything's on the right track, you want to make sure that things are going well. I would just encourage you not to focus on where you're popping up on Google, because ultimately you popping up on Google does not equal money coming into your bank account the next day. I would just encourage everybody to focus on the contacts, focus on the amount of phone calls coming in, focus on the emails, the text messages, how many of them are coming in, how many of them are good, how many customers you're getting out of it, because that's what's going to tell you if you're making money or not. So first page, number one on Google at the top is really, really overrated.